Okay, we'd like to get started. Today is Monday, May 18th, my watch says, at 4 o'clock, and, April. I'm running late. April 18th. And this is the session on asymmetric choreography. Welcome, everyone. My name is Barry Clasper, and I'm acting as the moderator, and my colleague to my right is Vic Ceder. I'll introduce him a little more fully after I'm finished my remarks, mainly because after you hear his CV, you're probably not going to want to listen to me. So I'll get my stuff over early. I kind of feel like the comic who precedes the girls at a burlesque show. You know, he's there so you can throw tomatoes at him and whatnot. So, do I need to explain what asymmetric choreography is? If you read your little blurb in the schedule, it pretty much explains what we mean by it. It means choreography that's not based on mirror image sides of the square. And so using asymmetric choreography, you can develop a lot of situations which are just impossible in normal symmetric choreography. And that's what makes it interesting. But that can also make it very difficult. And for a long time, my perception was that I wouldn't use asymmetric choreography unless I was trying to call a difficult challenge sequence or something, because it very rapidly became bizarre. And my feeling was that if it didn't become bizarre, why do it? You can develop asymmetric choreography as simply as having one couple roll away. Now you're asymmetric. But the dancers don't really notice a difference. And you can dance a lot of normal choreography that way, and they'll never realize that there's anything different about it, and you're still stuck with trying to resolve an asymmetric square. So I always felt that, if you didn't have some wild formation in there, why bother? And then a couple of years ago, I was attending Cal Campbell's beginner dance party leader seminar, which always precedes this convention. And he had this little routine that was asymmetric and was absolutely dead simple, used nothing but basics in English language. So at this point, I'd like to get a square up. It would help if we had an even number of boys and girls. Since this is asymmetric, it gets a little harder to see that it's asymmetric if you've got unevenly matched sets. We do have costumes for you. So Debbie will help you put on the costumes. Yeah, I should have had them do this while I was still yakking. So the thrust of my brief introductory remarks is going to be that, in fact, you don't have to go into wild, way-out, challenge-type choreography to use asymmetric choreography. You can actually do a lot of the stuff that we used to do in old-time traditional dancing. There's a lot of pattern dances that use asymmetric choreography, and you can mine that stuff to use in our normal or modern Western square dance choreography. And there's a lot of really neat ideas. You can look at some of these pattern dances. You can find them in books like the book that Cal Campbell produced called Dancing for Busy People. There's a herd of dances like this in there. And you can use some of those patterns as a template to base your asymmetric choreography on. So this pattern I was saying, talking about that Cal used, that I thought was just really neat. It's number 3 couple, roll away. The other 3 couples promenade half. Number 1 couple stand behind number 3 couple. So this is pretty bizarre, right? Not going to see this with normal symmetric choreography. Heads, as a bunch, step into the middle. Heads, turn your back on your partner. Allemande left. I mean, pretty simple. You can't get much simpler than that. So, yeah, promenade home. I didn't say it ended at home. So I use that as kind of a chicken plucker kind of template. You could take that idea, and then you can abstract other ideas out of it and sort of base things on it. So here's another one. Number 3 couple don't do anything. The other 3 couples promenade half. Number 1 couple stand behind number 3 couple. The heads walk through the middle. First couple go left, the next couple go right around 1, squeeze in between the sides. You've got lines of 4. And you're symmetrical. But that opening was something that was very different for square dancers that have seen any, had exposure to any, quote, normal choreography. You could even use this on a dance party night or something after they've had a few sequences. Yeah. Drinks is what almost came out, but square your sets. And then if you take that idea a little bit farther, number 1 couple, step into the middle. Split number 3 couple, go around 1, make a line of heads. The line of heads, step into the middle. Now if you're feeling brave, you could say line of heads cast off 3/4. Or if you're not so brave, you could say bend the line, you get the same place. And again, you're symmetric. So just a very quickie intro. Now all of those are on the back of the handout that you've all got. And I had a few others there which I'm not going to go into. Because this year, square your sets again. This year I went to the Beginner Dance Party Leader Seminar. I can never remember the order those letters come in. And I found 2 more neat ideas that you can extract asymmetric choreography from. So this is not in your handout, but you'll be able to get it from the tapes. Now, let me do this one first. This came from a dance called The Bridge. And the way it works, partway through the dance, you get a formation like this. Heads do a right and left through. Courtesy turn 1/4 more. Heads in the middle make 3 arches. Just hold your hands up and you've got 3 arches. Now the dance that was being shown said, number 2 couple duck between the middle arch, number 4 couple divide and go through the outside arches, meet on the other side. And then the dance proceeded from there. I'm not going to do the whole dance. But that idea was neat. Square your sets. So based on that, I came up with this. Head couples do a right and left through, courtesy turn 1/4 more. The center girls arch, and number 3 couple dive through and veer to the left with number 1 couple. Sorry. I screwed it up. Oh, I see what I've done. Yeah, I missed it. Square your sets. I wrote this down, and it's not like I have it memorized anymore. So I'm going to read it. Head couples promenade half. Sides do a right and left through and 1/4 more. This works better. The center girls arch. Number 3 couples dive through and veer to the left with number 1 couple. So now we've got a near line and a far line. So if you're going to use this on a floor, you'd have to know that they were familiar with the terms near line and far line. These days, I think most floors that have danced very much at all are used to those terms. So the far line, chain down the line, the near line, bend the line. And so now we've got a box of heads and a box of sides, right? We're clearly asymmetric, but they're all normal. Everybody do a right and left through and roll away. Centers roll away. The near box roll away. And the centers roll away. Ends face in. And you're home. So, I mean, that's a neat little sequence. Had that bridge thing at the beginning of it. And it's all basics. All basics. And here's my last one before I turn it over to Vic. This is based on, this is based on a dance called Bunches of 5. And it actually is called Bunches of 5 because it's danced with 5 couples. If I could have number 1 couple just step into the middle and stand between the sides. The formation that Bunches of 5 is danced in is this formation with an actual head couple still standing out there. So there's the normal square of 4 couples plus a 5th couple standing in the middle. And there's a bunch of stuff that goes on before this, but that eventually gets to a formation that looks like this. And it has the center couples with your outside hand make a 3-hand star with the sides. So there's one left-hand star and one right-hand star, right? Turn the stars all the way around. The sides will be facing in, and the center couple will be back where they started. And then it proceeds from there and it does some other stuff. It's a really neat dance, and I'll show it to you if you want to see later, but I'm not going to do the rest of it here. So that was what gave me the idea. And so square your sets, and here's what I extracted out of that. Yeah, side couples do a right and left through. Number 3 couples step into the middle while the others promenade half. So the other 3 couples promenade half. And the sides will be looking at number 3 couple. Number 3, make right-hand stars with make 3-hand stars with the sides. So just hold out your outside hand, turn the stars all the way around. Number 3 couple, step forward and promenade half. Number 1 couple, step into the middle. Make 3-hand stars with the sides. Turn it all the way around. Number 1 couple, step forward, California twirl, and you're home. Now you could make a nice little dance routine out of that. Do it again for the sides, but it's all basics, and yet it's clearly asymmetric. So you don't have to go to the real bizarre stuff. So that's it for me. Now I'd like to introduce my colleague here, Vic Ceder. It's hard to imagine many people that have had more influence on modern square dancing than Vic. Vic and Debbie edit the Cedar Chest books, which are widely regarded as deep authorities in the advanced and challenge world on definitions and how calls work. Vic produces the CSDS program that many of us use to write our choreography, and he's a well-respected authority on just about every level of dancing. He's one of the few callers that calls us from beginners all the way through to C4. So, and in addition to that, he is the acknowledged master of asymmetric choreography. It's one of the few people I know that sight calls asymmetrics. That's C4. So with no further ado, here's Vic Ceder.
All right, thank you. Well, as long as you guys are squared up here, I'd like to continue on a little bit with what Barry did, because he did part of my intro that I was going to do here. I know, it's fine. So just when you thought you were comfortable and you thought it was safe to go out at night, I come along. All right, so the similar sequence I have that starts off, that I often start off with the asymmetric, and usually when I'm doing a mainstream or plus dance, I won't do this until the 4th tip, or sometime after the middle, just as something a little bit extra fun, something to do, get them going. And my usual opener, which was probably how Cal Campbell once started off, I have couple 3 roll away. Couples 1 promenade halfway, stand behind couple 3. Sides move in, go right and left through, back away. Heads move into the middle, face your corner, a la man left, look at your partner, go right and left, grand. And I like to end you at home. So you will end at home. Okay. And there you are. So that's basically the same thing that Barry started off with, except he had 3 couples promenading half. And this was, I think, a little bit slightly similar. It's a very elegant sequence. Everybody gets it the first time through with not too many extra calls. The extra words, face your corner, and because the centers don't know what way to look, so they look out, which is the only way they can look, so they find their corner. Similarly, I'm going to cross these off. Let's have the heads do a half sachet. Couple number 1, walk forward. Split couple number 3, go around 1, make a line. Sides move into the middle, go right and left through, back away. Now, both of these sequences, what I did was I put all the heads on one side, and all the sides basically are at home. So all the heads move in the middle, bend the line, square through 3, looking for the corner, finding the corner, a la man left the corner, finding the partner, right and left grand, and you'll be back at home. So that's basically the same thing. These kind of easy ones here, I put all the heads or somebody on one side of the square. Sides do right and left through, flutter wheel, whatever, back away, put them back, and then I move the heads in the middle and do some 2 couple stuff to get them to their corner. Here's another one. Oh, here's try this one. Couple number 3, separate, turn your back on your partner, go around the outside, go around 3 people, make a line of 4. See, I've done the same thing. I put all the heads on this side now. All right? Let's have the sides. What are you going to do? I don't know. Sides go right and left through. Back away. Get out of there. Heads move into the middle. Bend the line. Zoom. Now what? Zoom again. Centers pass through, Alaman left. Forgot what I was doing. Promenade home. Well, I just side them out if I don't know what I'm doing. So everybody roll away. Couple number 1, walk forward, split couple number 3, go around 1, make a line. Couple number 2, walk forward, split couple number 4, go around 1, make a line. Now we have a problem, right? Okay, the heads, take your whole line of 4 and lead to the right. So you can get away with that without saying as couples. Just take the whole line of 4. The near box, it's the one closest to me, go right and left through. And everybody slide through. 8 chain 3. And lo and behold, the corner Alaman left, and you are home. Okay, how about one more of these, and then I'll give you a break here. Couple number 1, walk forward, split 3, go around 2, make lines of 3, up to the middle and back. Same 6 star through. Those who are facing the center's arch, the others dive through. In the middle, square through 3. Alaman left, you are home. All right, why don't you guys take a break, sit down. You can keep the pennies if you'd like to dance later. Otherwise, you can turn them in up front. Hopefully, there'll be enough time for me to show you how to resolve any asymmetric setup, which some of you are probably interested in. So, as Barry stated, asymmetric is anything that when one dancer moves, where their diagonal opposite does not move. And this includes a lot of the old-time visiting couple stuff, where we have couple number 1 lead out to the right, do something with couple number 2. You know, everybody swing promenade. Then couple number 1 would go do something with couple 3, and then with couple 4, and so on and so forth. So some of this asymmetry, this easier stuff, is kind of based upon that stuff. When you're asymmetric, there are 3 attributes you can have. There can be sex asymmetry, meaning the boys are where the girls are. There's something weird. There's 3 boys on one side and 3 girls on the other side. You can have formation asymmetry, like we had a line of 4 here and maybe a box of 4 over here. And you can have sequence asymmetry, which, of course, from a caller standpoint, is the hardest to see on the floor. Because you could have the girls in 1, 3, 2, 4 sequence, and the boys in some other random sequence. Get-ins, to get into to get into this stuff, to get into asymmetry, I have several different ways here listed. I have 6 ways. The first one is goal posting, which is kind of what we did here. You know, couple number 1, split couple number 3, go around so many to a line. There's sex or position swapping. A lot of people get in by saying couples 1 and 2 do a half sachet. Then you do a few more calls, you know, head square through 4, make a wave, swing through, you know, ends circulate, centers trade, boys run. Now all of a sudden all 8 dancers are facing one wall. We can do things like that. Also the position swapping. I can have from a squared set, couples 1 and 2 go right and left through. Now I've made it asymmetry with respect to sequence, but none of the other stuff. Everything else looks right to the dancers. There's the traveling couple asymmetry, where I'll just have one couple lead out to the right and do something, or one couple promenade 3/4 of the way, or something of that nature. Near and far is something I use a lot, especially in the advanced and above, to get into asymmetric formations. And I'll do a little bit more of that later. But that's basically, if I say near, it means the people in the square that are closest to me, and far would be the ones furthest away. So I'd say like the near line of 4, or the far box, and just those 4 people would be activated for the call. You can also get into asymmetric setups by calling things that reference points of the room or the front of the stage. You can say, those facing the caller do something. Those looking at the back of the hall, things of that nature. Tag the line, face the front. Then there's also some weird ways of getting into asymmetric setups, such as square through your couple number, okay, or 8 chain your couple number, where you go just that many hands. And I wrote a few of them today, this morning, while I was panicking about this session, so we can walk through those. And then I list a few other weird things here. If you have a circle of 8, I could say couple number 1, drop hands with your partner, and everybody straighten out, make a line of 8. You can find all sorts of weird little things to do. There's also the if you want to stuff. You can say from a square set, if you want to, roll away. Then you can have the heads do something, swing through, ends circulate, centers trade. Everybody's paired up with their partner. Centers run, bend the line, right and left through if you want to, half sachet, flutter wheel if you want to, boxonette, where you call the if you want to calls so that you're only working with your partner for the half sachets or boxonettes. Get them back together, call a star through or something, followed by there's several calls, like bend the line is the obvious one that comes to mind. Whether or not it flows right at that time is up to you. But there's other ways of getting them back. Useful calls that I found for maneuvering dancers around and resolving includes near and far, those who can, those facing. The call star through is very helpful, as well as calls such as boys fold or girls fold. And I'll try to get into some more of this later. But knowing these things, how to resolve asymmetric formations, is actually very helpful if you're calling to whole floor dancers and one square up front flubs up and they get half sachet with their partner, or they do some call wrong, and if you get them in, lines back to back and you've got mixed sexes and you call something like boys fold and all star through, that'll fix the sex problems. So there's little tricks like that you can learn from knowing asymmetric stuff. I'm going to skip the resolving part here. Surprise get-outs. Part of the fun with asymmetric things is a surprise resolution. Like that first sequence where the heads step in the middle, turn your back on your partner, face your corner. It's like, whoa, where'd they come from, All of a sudden they're right there. So something that's unusual, it just builds excitement because they think they're wrong because they're not feeling comfortable in where they are. They're a little bit weird. There's this line over here that shouldn't be there, So anything that's a surprise helps a lot. Site calling wise, I do a lot of site calling on this stuff, and you have to remember one more couple. You have to remember 6 people in the square. So it's a little bit tougher, and what I normally do is remember my key couple and my secondary couple, primary and secondaries, and then I pick one other couple in the square. Like I remember who the heads are or who the sides are, and I will often write that down maybe before I'm calling asymmetric, just in case I forget. I'm going to show you how to site call some easy stuff in a moment. Under resolving hints, I have some hints on how to resolve the, I'll get to that later too, I guess, how to resolve the sex resolves. Like I said, boys fold and all star through. There's a list of about 5 or 6 of them here. Dancing calls from asymmetric positions will feel different to the dancers, okay? And it feels different because they're not quite where they are. Things don't look right. This girl shouldn't be next to me, that kind of stuff. So keeping the calls easy, doable, giving the dancers a lot of feedback. I mean, telling them, when you've got something weird like that, 4 boys are in one side, or all the boys up to the middle and back. Notice you're all in the same box. The boys square through 4 while the girls go do something else. And let them know that they're doing fine and that that's the way it's supposed to be. Skip some of this stuff and go to it later. Keep it doable, keep it easy, keep it short, and keep it worthwhile. So keeping it easy, keep it so that the dancers don't get too disoriented, especially if they're not used to dancing by definition. At mini dances, the dancers will try to fix things. They'll try to put the girl on the right-hand side, and all this extra feedback you give them, check this, you're supposed to be half sachet, the boys are together, blah, blah, blah. Give them feedback, let them know they're in the right position. Sometimes at the upper levels, there's dancers who are used to, they're matching their opposite. They're always looking at their opposite, and those people actually tend to break down pretty easily on asymmetric, so they'll go match their opposite. And I've seen people being in the right spot, and they notice they're standing next to their opposite, and they'll run to the other side of the square, and I'm like thinking, what are you doing? Keep it short. If you break down if the square breaks down while you're doing an asymmetric, there's no facing lines to go up to the middle and back. So you have to keep it short, doable, and maybe do it over if they don't get it the first time. Keeping it doable is very important. The call relay the deucey, which we'll walk you through later, with one right-hand wave and one left-hand wave, is a very, very difficult call that could easily break down challenge floors, even though it's only plus. And the sequence, of course, should be worthwhile. It should have something in there, like Barry said earlier, that you can't do from a symmetric setup. Why bother doing couples 1 and 2 right and left through, and then calling the head position square through 4, do side do, touch a quarter, scoot back, boys run, blah, 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 and then couples 1 and 2 go right and left through at the end. It's like, why bother? You didn't need to do that. Before I call an asymmetric setup, and I call asymmetry stuff all levels, so I call it everything. Before I call, I check the squares, or check the floor, make sure nobody's checkerboarding, dancing at 90 degrees. Sometimes a tight floor, you've got people that are dancing the other way to save space. If I'm going to name a dancer in the middle of the sequence, like if I'm going to pick on the number 1 man or the number 2 lady or something, I make sure everybody at the beginning of the sequence, I say, couple number 1 identify, couple 2 identify. And often before such a sequence, I will do something that has couples 1 and 2 doing something, or something so that people will remember their couple number. I'll make sure I ingrain that into them before I call it at some random point in the sequence. So let's get a few couples up here again, and let me do a little bit more, some more interesting things perhaps, and then we'll talk about resolving and other things you can do. I can see the colors, so I don't have to worry about what you are. Yeah, you don't have to worry about tying the bottom knots. Debbie's mom made these, actually. So if you have any comments, return them to Debbie. Alrighty. Here's another thing we can do. Let's have couples 1 and 4 half sachet. All right, see if I can read this. Side square through 4. Dum, 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 dum. I didn't bring any music, so step 2 a wave. Swing through. The end circulates, centers trade. Boy run around the girl. Now I've set up all the dancers facing the caller. This is very useful for, announcements and birthdays and all that stuff. And everybody's in sequence, so all I have to do is bend the line, and you're there after the announcements. So that's kind of cool. Why don't you, what should we do? Touch a quarter. Each side walk and dodge. Centers touch quarter. Same 4 walk and dodge. Everybody California twirl. That's not on the card, but I called it. Okay. Here's a cool one I actually used. Some of these are on the sheet I gave out on the end. Couples 1 and 2. Go right and left through, square your set that way. And this is actually kind of good because, there's some clubs that don't really know couples 1, 2, 3, 4. They just know heads and sides, and this kind of wakes them up. And a lot of times when you first call couples 1 and 2 right and left through, they like to try to do 1 and 3, and then they go, no, that's not it. And then they try something else, and eventually they get it right, so you have to wait sometimes. Okay, the same 4, couples 1 and 2, do a flutter wheel. New couples 2 and 3 go right and left through. Same 4 flutter wheels. Yeah, wake them up. Yeah, we're doing fine. We're doing fine. No problem. Keep going. Good, good. Couples 3 and 4 go right and left through. Same 4 flutter wheel. No, we're switching her. Or no, we aren't. All 4 ladies chain 3/4. And they'll wonder how you got back home after all that. So that's kind of a cool thing to do. Let's have the head star through. This sequence here is actually the sequence I often will start off to teach the dancers what near and far means. Okay, so let's have the near column, and I'll say extra words like, that's the column of each square, the column of 4 closest me. Near column only, double pass through. Then I'll say, girls are together with holding left hands, boys are holding right hands. Everybody trade. The far column, double pass through. First couple do a partner trade. Alaman left. You're home. So that's usually my intro to the near and far. Here's another intro I use, kind of mostly the kind of challenge levels, but head star through, but I won't call a challenge call. The near column double pass through. Let me think for a moment. Everybody hinge, fan the top, first plus call I've called. Those facing pass through, there's your corner. Alaman left your corner, you're home. So a little quick little thing like that to get them interested or get them intro to the asymmetrics is always a very good thing to do. Well, let's go a little bit tougher here. All the heads. Oh, remember your couple number. You got it? Okay. All the heads lead to the right. Square through your couple number. Cool. Now, they don't, typically dancers start getting panicky when they get in some position like this, so quickly get out of it. Those facing the head walls, take a peek if you need to, trade, and roll the face in. Okay, now what do we got? A mess. Setters square through 3. And those facing pass through. Like we got all sides in the middle, the heads on the outside. Everybody face in. Cool. And we're symmetric? Close enough anyway. Is there a resolve on this? No, because they left out a call. Add the call here. Pass the ocean. I just scribble these out. Swing through. Girls turn around. Promenade your partner back home. Is that a Cotman get out? I don't think so. All right. Oh, here's one that Randy Dougherty used last year, which was like actually kind of cool. Let's have all the sides lead to the right. Do a right and left through. Yes, that's what I wanted. Do an 8 chain your couple number. Oh, I see Randy back there. He'll help me. Won't you? Randy, are you awake? You don't remember calling this? Okay, so I've got everybody facing the front of the hall. Okay, each box of 4 do a zoom. Are you sure? Okay, so what we're going to do now is the lead couple, the first couple. He's got a better way to say it. The lead couple. What I want you to do is start peeling off. Peel off, and everybody follows single file. Boys make a left-hand star. Girls make a right-hand star, like Venus is Mars. Turn the star. Couple number 1, when you meet your partner, boys hang on, keep the star promenade, pick up star promenade your partner, and I'm not quite saying it right, but we're getting there, yes. Star promenade back home. A few extra words like perhaps boys keep the hold, star hold would probably help there. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Let's try this one. All the sides lead to the right. Circle to a line. I like going under the arch. Good. Everybody pass through. The near line of 4, the one facing me, tag the line, go all the way down, face in. The others do a partner trade. Okay. All 4 girls up to the middle and back. Okay. Girls work around the center boy, and the girls square through 3. Give them something interesting to do there. Cool. All the boys work around the center girl, and the boys square through 3. Cool. The far line, tag the line all the way, face in. The other's California twirl. Pass the ocean. Single hinge, face your partner. Go right and left grand. So that was kind of an easy little thing. Let me now show you some tricks on asymmetric resolution here. And I'm going to skip back here a bit. In fact, maybe I'll hand it over to Barry and you can set me up with some setup. I don't know. Just do the thing we agreed upon earlier.
Oh, that thing. Well, I have no idea how bizarre to get here. Okay. Side couples lead right.
Let me hide my eyes.
Yeah. The near box swing through, the far box spin the top. The near wave boys run. Far wave boys hinge.
Well, I see formation asymmetry. And let's see. How are we going to do this? Can we do that? Can I use... Yes, I am, once I figure out what he did here. I didn't really quite expect this, but...
Wasn't this what we discussed?
Actually, it wasn't, but whatever you want. Okay, so the first thing I would do to resolve this is actually not too messy, because you didn't do too much to them, but... I mean, certainly I could sight call out what he had just done, undo that, or something similar. First of all, I want to get them into something. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think of plus or below to do that. Yes, okay. So, let's have the far diamond, have the boys hinge. Those boys run right. The near four do a wheel and deal, sweep a quarter. The others also wheel and deal. So there wasn't much to that one, actually. Let me give you a little more interesting one here. Everybody pass the ocean. Hinge. Fan the top. The number 2 girl run around 7. Cool. Number 2 boy, why don't you run about round 3? Well, that looks good. So this is what I want, something good, you know. Okay, your turn. Okay, so this has everything. It's an asymmetric setup. Even though we have a 3 and 1 line on each side, one of them's right-handed, one's left-handed. We got the boys all mixed up. Where are the boys? Raise your hand. 3 boys on one side, 1 boy over there. You know, everything's wrong. Sequence is wrong. Everything's wrong. So what I want to do here is fix each one of these little pieces one by one. And the first thing I do for my get out is I try to make a normalized setup. Fix the formation problem first. And what's a good fix on this here? What a mess. Yeah, that's a good script. Okay, here's one. Everybody step forward. Make a line back to back. Okay. See, I just made some nice setup all of a sudden. And then I'll look and see where the boys. Boys, raise your hands. We all know where you are. So the next setup I'd like to do is probably put all the boys together and all the girls together or something of that nature. So do a wheel and deal. And the centers swing through. Everybody extend. And the wave furthest from the collar swing through. At this point, I put all 4 boys in a box and all 4 girls in a box. This is all kind of detailed a little bit later. Everybody do a split circulate, which didn't do too much. Do a single hinge. The centers trade. And the boys looking out run right. And the girls swing through. And the girls looking out run right. And what have I done? I have put the boys so that the head boys are all on the bows spot and the girls are the, let me show you in a moment. Pass through, wheel and deal, center square through 3. All right, so what I've done at this point is I put all 4 boys in a box, and the boys are symmetric in their box. The head men are in the boy spot, and the side men are in the girl spot or the bell spot. And same thing for the girls. Everybody step to a wave. All right. My standard get out from something like this is I convert all the setups. I convert the setups to something that's normal so that each wave is symmetric. The boys have a symmetric wave. Head men are on the end, side men in the middle. The girls also have a symmetric wave. Okay. The girls have the center girl cross run. Okay. At this point, I have 2 symmetric waves, but but the whole overall 8 dancer formation is asymmetric. From this setup, those facing, if I have you pass through, you'll be symmetric always. If you've set up 2 symmetric waves, one right hand, one left hand. Those facing pass through. We are now symmetric, right? Do a wheel and deal. Zoom. Centers pass through. Everybody pass through. Alaman left. Promenade short, and you are home. Now, you can use this to your advantage. Very like this. All the heads, star through. Near column, double pass through. All right? We are now in this setup where each half of the square is symmetric. Okay? The girls, you have the head girls as the leaders and the side girls as trailers. The boys, that's the same setup. Head boys, leaders, side boys, trailers. Everybody hinge, fan the top. Now, at this point, I can call any set of calls the boys, any set of calls the girls. And then if I get them back in a left-hand wave and a right-hand wave, those facing pass through and will be symmetric. So I actually call this kind of the battle of the sexes. Okay? The boys swing through. The girls left spin the top. The boys recycle. The girls recycle. The boys pass the ocean. The girls square through 2. What a mess. The boys spin the top. Girls U-turn back. Girls do a do-side-o 3/4. Okay? 3/4. That's 1 1/4. All right? So at this point, I've got those symmetric waves again. All I have to do is call those facing pass through and it will be symmetric. Those facing pass through. And we are good. Yes? Hello? I'm dancing right now. Do a wheel and deal. As a girl, yes. Zoom. Really? Double pass through. Leaders trade. Pass through. Alaman left. And you promenade them back home. Since use up. This one has a surprise get out in it. Also wrote it today. Heads lead to the right. Slide through. Go right and left through. Turn a little girl. Or a big one or whatever. Those facing the collar, half sachet. Okay. Everybody pass through. So face the one beside you and step 2 wave because I wanted to pass the ocean. It's a blonde thing. Swing through. Okay. All the centers run. The new centers hinge, and those girls run right. Okay, right. Yes, good. Okay, so here's some weird diamonds. And they're clearly asymmetric. Okay, very carefully cut the diamond. And a right and left grand. Straight ahead. So that's like a surprise get out that comes out of the middle of nowhere. And there's a little paragraph on this paper called Shifting Gravity. Did you notice they all crashed on one side and they all kind of went over there? Well, that's interesting because they crash, right? So head square through 2. Everybody circle up 4, break out, make a line. Pass through. Yeah, they had to crash. Here's another one's going to have some crashing. The near box, chase right. Okay, so here we got some ugly looking lines. Everybody do an AC-DC. There's a crash here and a crash there. There's no crash there. Cool. Look at that, 5 and 3 lines. You don't get that too often, right? Okay, the facing box of 4. Pass the ocean. Same 4 single hinge. We're going to do you in a moment. Same 4 single hinge. And the number 3 girl who's closest to me and lost, turn around. Good. Okay. All right, here's a wave of 5 and a wave of 3. And in your wave of 5 or 3, swing through. Go right, 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 then left. Good. Same wave of 5 or 3, swing through again. Right, left. Everybody extend. Yep, straight ahead. Left hand wave of, good, yeah, good, good. Now we got a wave of 5 in the middle. So what are we going to do with you? The wave of 5, swing through, right, left, swing through again. The other 3 do a U-turn back. This is actually kind of a plus sequence I occasionally call at challenge, and they have problems with it. Go figure. Okay, the centers, step through. Okay, so I just want you to step a little bit forward. Don't extend, though. Each group of 4. Okay, circle to align. Everybody slide through. Oh. Are we asymmetric? Did I leave something out? Well, that didn't go well, did it? Was that it? Let's try it again. Try it again. See if it's you or me. I think I know the answer, but... All the heads square through, too. I'm watching them. Everybody circle to align. Whoop, to the middle and back. Then pass through. Near 4, chase right. Maybe I'm calling it wrong. Everybody acey-deucey. Crash somewhere. Good. Now the box of 4 facing, past the ocean. Same for hinge. The nearest girl turn back. We got a wave of 5, wave of 3. Right. Starting at the right. Swing through. Once again, swing through. Okay. Extend. I like that better. The wave of 5, swing through. The other 3 do a U-turn back. The wave of 5, swing through again. The same one, step through, which I just want you to step towards here back to back. Yeah, this should work. No, it doesn't work, does it? Yeah, there's a problem. Well, this is not a good example. It's a work in progress. Square your sets. But, is there any suggestions how to fix that? Okay. Any comments or questions from anybody before we go on? Here comes Mr. Pentagon. Yes. Oh, okay. He's fine. Well, that was supposed to be the good get out, but I, of course, messed it out. Up, out, over. Another thing I do is in our area of the country, we stir the bucket before singing calls. And so I've worked up quite a few little ditties that are kind of cool to do that. And one of them is this one. Couple number 1, lead to the right, make an arch. Let couple 2 dive through. Couple 2, lead right, make an arch. Let couple 3 dive through. Close enough. Couple 3, lead to the right, make an arch. Let couple 4 dive through. Couple 4, lead to the right, face the caller. Anybody looking out, and there usually are, California twirl, because they don't forget to do they forget the California twirl as a part of the dive through. So, and we're stirred, and they go, whoa, look at that. Everybody circle left a quarter. All right. Here's another one. Think. Couples 2 and 3 go right and left through. Okay. New couples 2 and 4 go right and left through. New couples 2 and 4, or the 2 and 4 position. New couples 2 and 1 go right and left through. And you are stirred again. So you kind of play around with that. Once you circle left a quarter, go home. I mean, you can play around with it so much. Basically what I'm doing is just setting one couple over there, and then the next one, the next one, next one. Like couple 1, go right and left through, make an arch. Or couple 1, lead right, make an arch, let couple 2 dive through. Couple 2, lead right, do a right and left through with those, veer left. Couple, that didn't what I wanted. Same 4, do a wheel and deal. Then you can dive through, why not? Yeah, why not? Couple 3, this wasn't going the way I wanted. Couple 3, why don't you reverse promenade a quarter? I give you the tough ones. Couple 4, come into the middle. As a couple face the caller, step forward, California twirl. So you just kind of play around with that kind of stuff, move them around. Oh, here's a good one I like. Unstir. Unstir, yes. Okay, couples 1 and 2. Flutter wheel. New couples 2 and 3, reverse the flutter. New couples 3 and 4, flutter wheel. New couples 4 and 1, reverse the flutter. All the heads, flutter wheel, head position. Side position, reverse the flutter. So there's a little playing around with flutter wheels and reverse flutters, and you're stirred. Cool. Circle left a quarter. What else do we got? Running out of material. All right. Remember your couple number. Got it? Good. Everybody do an Alaman left in the Alamo style, right to the partner, balance. Swing through. Balance. Got to throw those in. Swing through. Balance again. Now, couples 1 and 2, identify yourselves. In your arced, bent, whatever way before, swing through. Swing through again. Couples 1 and 3, identify yourselves. In your arced wave, swing through double. Couples 1 and 4 in your arced wave, swing through double. Good. All the boys run right. And you should be there. Well, you're 16th off. Close enough. Okay. Couple number 1, or unstir. Couple number 1, lead right, circle to a line. Couple number 2, lead right, circle to a line. Couple number 3, lead right, circle to a line. And couple 4, why don't you lead right, look at me, and trade, and we're sort of stirred. It's close enough for government work. So just play around with this stuff. All right, why don't you circle home? Any more questions? Comments? How are we doing time-wise? Are you all scared to death? Use the mic.
Okay, Lynn Webster from Minneapolis, St. Paul. My question was, what if the dancers create the asymmetrical setup for you, and you go like, oh my God, what do I do now? How do you handle something like that? Do you have any easy get-outs or any tips for us in that?
Well, it certainly depends on the situation as you go. I mean, it's each time you have to decide what to do with them. If you've got one square, or maybe 2 squares, I would just keep calling and fix one while the other was still dancing or whatever. And you can do that, with the AC-doocies and things, and moving people around. And when you get them next to their partner, call some half read-through equivalent of some sort. Looking out, voice fold, star through, something like that.
Vic, have you got an example of, like, say, one square got started late, they're in sequence, and 3/4 of the floor is out of sequence? Have you got a way to fix those kinds of things?
Are you trying to place a bet to show us? Would you like to
show us your
fancy sequence?
If you want me to set you up one, I want to see you sight call some of the, because I haven't figured out how to resolve some of the stuff I get.
Well, would you like to alternate calls?
What's that?
You want to alternate calls?
No, I don't want to do that with you. I tried to dance in your phantom square and couldn't do it. Heads, lead right, circle to a line. Near box, touch a quarter. The others have the ladies lead, Dixie style, to a wave. Center boy hinge, and the other girls in the diamond, you turn back. Number 2 boy, ignore you, do not move. The other 7 heptagonal circulate.
Yes.
Go, Vic.
Well, that sure was nice, you Randy. Okay, well, some of these get-outs are not too elegant, but they supposedly would work. The 4 face, the near box of 4, face in and do a left touch a quarter. Now the near 5, you have a pentagon. See, Randy loves this stuff. The near 5, pentagon, circulate. The diamond, circulate. The near 5, pentagon, circulate. So we can do all sorts of stuff like this while I'm trying to figure out what the heck to do. Okay, let's have the diamond. Cut the diamond. The others, why don't you face in, past the ocean. Same for recycle, veer left. Okay, so I fixed the formation asymmetry first, right? Because that's a good thing to do. All right, and I look at this and I go, well, we've got 3 sides in one box and 3 heads in the other box. I'd probably want to put the sides all together somehow. So, what have you done, Randy? Girls, 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 girls. It's a total mess. Couples, circulate. All right, everybody do a half tag, face right, and star through. All right, look at that. We fixed the sex problems, sort of, right? Those facing, pass through. Everybody bend the line. So now we fixed the formation and the sex, and the only thing left is sequence. And everybody pass the ocean here. 1 and 2 ladies trade, because I know they're there. Thank you. Swing through. Circulate. 1.5. That didn't work. Boys run around the girls. Centers wheel and deal. The others bend the line. Zoom. People in the middle. Centers pass through and Alaman left, and you're there. And that took a lot longer than I wanted, but given the heptagon, it's like a heffalump. Yes. Any other questions, comments? Randy again.
So for those of you who may have come late, we do have a handout. We're all out of them, but they're up on our website. So it's at cedar.net. Sorry? Well, we'll make it on the first page for a while. Okay.
You know, I actually didn't show some other things here, since we have time. One of the calls I use at C4 or at one-night stands is called Who's on First and Who's on Second, and things like that. Okay? So on the call Who's on First, what happens is it's positions in the square. First means couple number 1's position. Second means couple number 2's position. Third, couple number 3's, and so on and so forth. All right, so if I call a Who's on First, what's going to happen is the designated position, the couple at position, is going to walk forward and go in between the opposite couple. Go ahead and do that. Who's on first? Couple number 1, go through. Now the other 6 people, I want you to slide 1 position around the square towards where the original people started, and the couple that went forward does a U-turn back. That's called Who's on First. And that's giving me an asymmetric. All the sides are in the near group of 4, and the heads are in the far group of 4. And this is actually useful, for beginners or whatever, if you're kind of trying to teach some square positions. All right. Who's on second? The people couple number 2 position walk forward. The other 6 slide around the outside. Cool. Who's on third? Look at that. We're symmetric. You see that? It's who's on first or second, third, whatever, has an interesting attribute that if you call it heads, sides, or sides, heads, sides, you'll always be symmetric afterwards. It's kind of weird. 3 in a row. Or, of course, if you call heads, heads, you'll be symmetric afterwards, right? So who's on fourth? Who's on first? Learn your numbers. Who's on fourth? And I know we'll be symmetric. Isn't that weird? At the side position, star through. And do a Dixie Grand. And you are alamanding at home. Okay? So that's one cool thing. Another call that's asymmetric but ends symmetric is called rip and snort. And it's kind of, and I call this one too. I mean, they eat it up, this stuff. And it's usually done from a circle, so everybody join your hands. And pretend you're circling. But what's going to happen is I will say couple number 1, rip and snort. What's going to happen is the opposite couple, you're going to raise your hand. So couple 3, raise your hand. Everybody holding hands, couple number 1 is going to go through the arch, and with your partner, drop hands, then promenade, hold your hands there, promenade on the outside, do a dish rag twirl to finish. We're doing fine. Or not. Reform the circle. We're going to do... Yeah, don't let go of hands. The only people who let go of hands is the designated couple with their partner. Okay, well, we'll pick on somebody else then. Everybody join hands, circle to the left. Couple number 2, rip and snort. You dive through, run, hold the hands, make this dish raggy turn. That's a fun one-night stander or beginner's class kind of thing. All right? Dennis?
You mentioned something about if you want to, but you don't have to. Did you show any examples of that?
Well, I don't have any, but I'll be glad to sight call one for you. If you want to, but don't. I'll just say if you want to. If you want to, roll away. See? Okay, fine. All the heads square through 4. Whatever you want to do, we'll work on this stuff here. Oh my gosh! Everybody swing through. The ends circulate, centers trade. Everybody single hinge, face them. If you want to, box the net. Yeah, I'm just dealing with the partners. That's all I would venture to do if I'm sight calling. Everybody pass through, trade by. Wow. Step to a wave. If you want to, your whole wave, trade the wave. Everybody recycle. Yes. My gosh. Swing through. Ends circulate, centers trade. Yes, sort of. Swing through again. The ends circulate. I paired you all up with your partner so we can do whatever we want. Everybody explode the wave. Bend the line and what do we do here? Pass through. All the boys fold. That work? Good. Star through. Couples circulate. Ferris wheel. Zoom. Centers swing through. Same for explode and star through. There's a corner. Alamand. Promenade. Back home. Forward home. Get back home. What's the goal? The goal on... I don't do too many of these if you want to but don't have to kind of things, but I would just keep them with the partner to do the call, either star through, box the net, roll away, 2 dancer calls anyway. Let's have all the heads lead to the right, step to a wave. Okay, just the wave over here, couples 1 and 2, take a peek and trade the wave. This is something I just use in the sequence out of nowhere. If you have symmetric waves, you have one wave trade the wave and one wave not trade the wave, a recycle will fix it. Everybody recycle. And we're symmetric. So that's kind of a cool thing to do that I often, if I'm playing around with the floor and, Randy's out there dancing or something, I'll say, just Randy's wave, take a peek, trade the wave. Then everybody recycle. The whole floor is just like now going ecstatic because I fixed Randy's square, So.
Thanks for bringing my attention to everybody. I do if you want to, same idea. If you want to, you don't have to, but I do where I'm with my corner most of the time. Veer left. Let's see. Try the AC-doocy for me. I got everybody with corner, correct? So we're in a corner line. Bend the line, pass through, wheel and deal. And this is the secret, is keeping track of the corner. Okay, if you want to, you don't have to do a right and left through. If you did, pass through. If you want to, you don't have to square through 3. If you want to, you don't have to roll away. Everyone must do this call, face your partner and back away. If you want to, you don't have to box the gnat. If you feel an urge, you can box it back. All go forward, up and back. Bend the line. Pass through. Wheel and deal. Now, let's see, what do we got in there? We got 3 men and a girl. Is that right? So you might say in the middle, 3 roosters and a chicken. But if you start doing that kind of thing, the other people might have done some things different. You might have 3 callers in there and only 1 rooster. Or you might have all 4 men in the middle or whatever. So you got to be careful how you do it. But this is how I would get out. Zoom. Square through 3. Put that surprised look on your face. Alaman left. Now, the Alaman left for number 4 guy. Notice how far he went. That's really illegitimate because he went not only 360 but another 90. But the dancers will do it.
Cool.
Yeah, no problem. Another comment that I might make that kind of goes with asymmetrical, if you're teaching a DVD class in Plus or Mainstream or whatever it is, for instance, you know how difficult it is for people to learn relay the deucey other than the boys on the ends. You might tackle it this way and have a higher success rate. If you say just number 1 couple, half sachet. Side positions go into the middle to do your square through 4 face your corner. Okay, go ahead and do the whole stuff then. Okay. Step 2, a wave. So you notice that 6 out of the 8 people, it will be a normal relay the deucey for them. Okay? Do a relay the deucey. And if you just kind of keep your eye on that number 1, you can help them. You know, if you have to tell the number 1 boy hop off or number 1 boy get on, they can. And now we're still in that corner setup type thing, but number 1 is sashayed. So I usually do this. Swing through, and AC-deucey brings everybody back to the partner. So you can say swing, or you could say boy run. Notice you've got 3 couples looking the back wall. All you got to do is say leaders, or everyone bend the line depending on your flow. I usually do leaders, partner trade. There's 6 of you. You're back into a normal setup. Then the next time you get ready to teach relay the deucey, have number 2 couple half sachet, and then have couple 3 couple half sachet. And before you know it, then you can say number 1, 2, 3 couples half sachet. And you keep doing that same sequence, and those people can do a relay the deucey really, really good, right-handed from any arrangement. So then tackle it left-handed if you're really brave.
Yeah. No.
No, I've called that before, and you don't really like the ending results.
Let's have everybody pass through and bend the line. Pass the ocean. Have the near wave take a peek, trade the wave. No. We can also do relay the deucey from here, which is very hard. And remember, there's 6 parts to it, or 6 arm turns in the call. Remember where you start. You're going to end on the other side of holding your partner by the same hand you've got her now. It's just when you get that wave or line of 6 now, it's going to be partner trades or swings or weird kind of things going on. So everybody from here, relay the deucey, turn half, centers go 3/4, the ends move along, wave of 6, turn partner trade, then 4 trade, and somebody on, somebody off, trade by the right up here, trade by the left, that part, cast 3, move up, cast left arm turn right here, left arm turn, left arm turn, left arm turn, left arm, just, yeah, turn around, just turn around, you're just, yes, and perfect. Actually, that went very well for when you first try this. Relay the deucey, same thing, half, 3/4. So some of these calls are incredibly hard. 6 trade, on, off, turn half. Cool. That was hard, wasn't it? Explode and slide through, pass through. And we are completely hosed here. Good. Face in. Near box, go right and left through. Is that better? Now everybody slide through, pass through. Alaman left. And there you go. Cool.
Okay, we're just about out of time. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Thanks especially for our dancers who are up on the floor for so long. Thanks to Vic for doing a great presentation on asymmetrics. You can get the handouts either on Vic's site or they'll also be up on the CALLERLAB website. And we'll see you at dinner in the reception.